conversations with Kenny.
This podcast is sponsored by Visibility Solutions Media.
Conversations don't just reveal the truth, conversations shapes culture. Welcome to another fantastic edition of Conversations with Kenny. Today I'm excited because I have an amazing young Nigerian. He's a man of many parts. He's an actor, he's a content creator, social media influencer, MC, a man of many parts. Join me in welcoming Chimaraph.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Yep.
How exactly do you balance these things, Because when I got to know you, started out as a comedian. Was it an intentional switch for you?
Well, it wasn't intentional. The truth is that, we stumble in this part of the world. We stumble into things, and then as you begin to go, you now begin to find the parts where you want to focus on. So, when you just hear motivational speech, say, hey, just go there, start. But man, it's good to just start, In the journey of starting, you'll be able to find yourself as you move on.
So, was MCing something you stumbled on as a comedian? Or?
Well, being a master of ceremony, for me personally, is my core, is my forte. I've been an MC for as much as I can remember. The very first time I was an MC for an event, I think I just finished secondary school.
Oh wow!
Yes,
really
and I just did it. I just knew I could do this thing and I could talk. It wasn't anything. It wasn't any big deal for me. It just flows naturally, so it wasn't any big deal. But I was also the guy who likes to make people laugh, So at that time when I started out, being a stand-up comedian was the formal way to get into the industry. It was the easiest path to get into the industry. So that was how we started.
So how do you love to be described now? Do you love to... This introduction I did now,
yes.
Do you like the introduction?
Yes, well, if I have to introduce myself, I like to introduce myself as an entertainment entrepreneur. Because beyond being a master of ceremony, I look forward to, as much as I do a lot of productions.
Yes.
I act in movies, and I've produced 1 or 2 films, and so yes, I like to. But master of ceremony is my core. That's my place. If you wake me up from my sleep and say, Chimaraph, hold this mic, trust me, I'll kill it.
So what are your thoughts on the industry, about the industry right now? The master of ceremony industries. Now I've seen a lot of young people who are not trained. You see them they have the branding, they have the packaging, they wear nice suits. But when it comes to, I saw a video where, I don't know if you saw the video of a particular guy trying to interview Frank Edo, and he was leading in, he was being too close to him.
He was almost trying to kiss him.
Those basic, things you're supposed to know about your trade or industry. Those things are missing. So we have a lot of young people who focus more on the packaging and not on the content development. What are your thoughts?
Well, the inception of social media has changed how the industry works at the moment. All right, so you can just wear a fine suit, look very good, and begin to get some of the biggest gigs from knowing somebody that knows somebody. All right, just post very good videos and then be in the right clique, and before you know, you have some of the biggest gigs, even if you cannot deliver very well. All right, so, but when we started out, it was a bit more of, you had to go through the rudiments of learning the basics of the job. In fact, we started out by following somebody who was already doing it, like a mentee. You had to learn from him. I remember starting out, my mentor was MC Pato. All right,
MC Pato.
Yes, I followed him. In fact, I remember following him, and he would take me to events and he would just tell me to sit down. He would come and meet me, say, just watch me. There was a place of just sitting and watching him. He said, just watch me. He would not give me a microphone. He said, just watch me.
People now want a microphone.
No, if you take them to event, I don't give them mic. You don't want them to prosper. You are their enemy. There's a guy that was following me lately, and because of making videos for social media, so I said, okay, so help me make videos while you're following me. And I always say to him, I say, just keep learning. Look at how I start. Look at how I manage crises. Observe. Make videos for me. It got to a point the guy was looking for microphone by all means. Now understand, we live in a fast-paced world where everybody wants to make it overnight. If you tell anybody to wait, that's why you hear quotes like "hungry don't kill the patient dog."
What do you think about quotes like that? Like I saw a video recently where all kids were just debunking all those popular quotes.
Yes, because some of the quotes when you look at them, they were not completely correct, but it doesn't mean that some of them don't hold water. There are a couple of them that are very correct. Like the patient dog eats the fattest bone. I think it came from a place of that in the journey of life, you need to understand when to, even while the thing seems like it's not working, just be patient and keep working it out. All right. It doesn't have to happen overnight, but in today's world, social media, you can sleep today and wake up tomorrow as a global sensation. So they no get time, no time. You hear things like no time, but time, no day.
No time. But,
no time.
Let's talk about times in your life where you had to wait for time. You were waiting for your own time, your own waiting period.
Okay, so
how were you able to handle? I know you've been in this industry for years. How have you been able to handle those different seasons?
One of the things I would say that it's not been an easy season, especially for some of us that we started out in entertainment business as our only business. All right. So there are people who started out, they already have a 9 to 5 but we started out, it was the only thing we had to make it work. We had to pay our bills, It was not easy sometimes on that journey. It's not been easy. One of the ones that for me, it's very instrumental that I will remember was, I think it was Stand Up Nigeria. I always wanted to be on Stand Up Nigeria that year. Stand Up Nigeria was the biggest comedy club in Lagos. You had to be on Stand Up Nigeria.
Shout out to Bumi Davis.
Shout out to Bumi Davis, man. I look forward to Stand Up Nigeria coming back. I don't know but I look forward to Stand Up Nigeria coming back, because it was a platform that trained comedians, prepared the comedians that you see today that are doing very well for the big stages. Shout out to him, man. It was such an amazing platform. I remember then he always used to say something to us. Sometimes you get to come and then you don't perform. Some of us want to feel bad. They say no. He will always tell us that time that it's not about performing. It's ensuring that when you perform well. Because millions of people are going to see you, and how they see you is how they will perceive your brand. That's the perception of your brand they will have. So the times that we had to go, we didn't perform and waited till it was worth it, because when we went on that stage, all of the times when I went there and I didn't perform and I was also watching, I didn't know that it was actually training me. I was seeing other comedians and I was seeing how it should be done, the flaws, what the mistakes you should not make. And it paid off very well.
You're also understanding the audience too.
Yes, understanding the audience, how they respond and how to work with the audience. Yes, it might not work. In fact, you can even sit down as a comedian. You can sit at a comedy show. That's why comedians attend comedy shows. A comedian can sit at a comedy show and there's a material he's been working on for close to a year. He's looking for the punchline. And another comedian is on stage randomly telling a joke
that is not related.
And in that guy's joke, he'll be able to say, this should be the punchline of this. And before you know, the joke will just finish for there. So that's why you see comedians have to go to comedy shows and just sit and watch other comedians.
What would you regard as the greatest prize? Because now you're an intersection between pre-social media age and social media age. They see you now, they're going to say you be Gen Z. They're going to say, don't be Gen Z.
Don't be Gen Z.
At all. Don't be Gen Z. So, because I happen to know a bit of a story, but what would you regard as the greatest sacrifice you've ever made for your career? Would you call it relocating to Lagos? You've been in Lagos for how many years?
Yes, I think it's relocating to Lagos. It was relocating to Lagos because I was in my comfort zone in Port Harcourt. All right. I grew up in Port Harcourt, so it was my comfort zone. Went to school in Port Harcourt, so it was my comfort zone. Leaving Port Harcourt and coming to Lagos was a decision I had to make. I got to a point in my life where I said, "What am I going to do with my life?" And I said, "I know that this is something that I can do. This is something I love to do, And then I had to say, "Man, I'm coming to Lagos."
Did you know anybody in Lagos when you got to Lagos?
My Lagos story is a very funny one. Okay, so Julius Agwu, industry pioneer, the big boss himself. At that time, he was at the peak of his career. He was a national sensation
with the music comedy.
Or everything, he was a sensation. So way back as a young boy in Port Harcourt, I used to watch him and I loved it. And then my mom and his mom share boundary. My mom has a shop. My mom deals with food stuff, and his mom also deals with food stuff. So his mom handed over the shop to her first daughter, who is Julius Agwu's elder sister. And then that relationship was there. So when I needed to relook, I told my elder sister, I said, let me talk to Bros G, younger sister now. Make I come Lagos, come to work with them. All right. So I came to Lagos. I went to his office. Said, "Oh, okay, fine." So I started working as an office assistant without pay. So it was a major sacrifice, without pay, and I had to do it. It was working with them that I met a lot of comedians. I met Senator, I met Funny Bone, I met Pencil. I met a lot of people while I was working in Julius Agwu's office as an errand boy. And it was also an opportunity for me to know Lagos entertainment circle. I got to meet a lot of people. In fact, that was how I got to know Lagos very well today. I got to know the entertainment hubs.
Yeah,
I knew where the newspapers were in Lagos because I was always the guy they were sending. Say go and drop this invite, go and draw this press release, go and do this and go and do that. So,
but what were the major lessons you learned from him that has shaped your career today?
I think for me, one of the things I learned from him that I would never forget was how professional he was with his job. He was super professional. I working with him in his office, I saw him treat stand-up comedy business so professionally. Everything was properly documented. There was proper channel for everything. You needed to see his proposals for comedy shows. They were top-notch. He ran it properly like a proper Fortune 500 company. Like you could see that this guy knows. He understood entertainment business. And he was one of the major pioneers of this business.
Well, let's talk about, you are a stand-up comedian, you are an MC and all that. Do you think stand-up comedy is an endangered species in the age of skit making?
No, that phase has passed. That was during lockdown. Trust me, right now, stand-up comedy is on another level.
But so people believe they can consume skits, they can get the laughter on their phones.
There's so much, if you go online, there's so much stand-up comedy laughter. Trust me, so much. I think when we had that issue, when this question would hold was during COVID, because comedians couldn't go to shows and skit makers could just come out in front of the house and make skits. But now, man, stand-up comedy is thriving. Trust me, doing so well. Like young comedians coming in every day and doing amazingly well. So stand-up comedy is doing so well. Trust me. In fact, I can tell you for a fact that most of the skits are stand-up comedy materials that were turned into skits. Most of the skits you watch, they are stand-up comedy materials. That's why when you go to comedy shows, you see a lot of skit makers at comedy shows. They'll sit down, they watch material. You go know material where you go fix together, add something, and then make a skit. But stand-up comedy is very well right now.
I've seen skit makers not being able to, not all of them though, but I've seen skit makers not able to perform on stage when it comes to...
There are two different things.
When it comes to an actor facing an audience.
Of course, stand-up comedy and skit making, they are two different things. Trust me, they are very different. In fact, I can give you an example. Many years ago, when I was studying as a master of ceremony, someone recommended me for a job, for a very big wedding gig. And I spoke to the client, and the client told me that he had contacted a radio personality. I won't mention the radio personality's name. Was a very popular radio personality at that time. And I kind of felt bad, like, I missed this job. On that day, I didn't have a job. I wanted to see this radio. I wanted to see what this radio personality would do.
Differently.
And when I got there, bro, I'm not kidding you, man. The guy was literally trying to back the stage. He couldn't face the audience.
Wow.
It was that day I realized that being a radio personality is a different ballgame from being a master of ceremony for live events. There are two different things. You can be on radio, behind the scene, and talk to millions of people. But bro, when you look people into their eyes and they look in your eyes, and you greet them, they don't answer you. and you see real problems and you navigate it as a master of ceremony. So there are two different things. The guy did poorly. In fact, it was so obvious that even the guy that hired him knew he just wasted his money. Right. It was a mistake. So the guy basically hired the brand name. It wasn't for the quality of service that the guy could deliver.
Well, what has been the major, I want you to share an experience with us, a major problem you encountered, maybe one event where you go forget. I know you have several.
Of course, there are several. The one that is for me, in fact, I used to say to myself that was the day I knew that I was called to be a master of ceremony. If there's any such thing, that I had a calling to be a master of ceremony. Was the day I went to MC an event. I would never forget, Lagos Island. There's a hall called, I think that hall is close to Central Bank. It's a prestigious hall in Lagos Island. I've forgotten the name right now, but I can't remember. Some of the biggest socialites in Lagos hold their events there. You know, and I was hired as the master of... Okay, I was not the official master of ceremony. Okay. I think it was Jude Aurora.
The actor?
Yes, the actor that was hired for it. And somehow he had another gig on that day. So he told me that, Chima, you know what, go and start this gig. I will come and meet you. And it was a full-blown Yoruba wedding. Bride was Yoruba, groom was Yoruba. In fact, the audience was Lagos Island people that wanted you to say, Allah. And then there was this guy right there who was sounding very professional. But I was able to navigate that event, irrespective of the challenges. I navigate. In fact, when I finished that event, he didn't come till I finished. And it was that I told myself that, man, Chimaraph, you're called to do this thing.
How were you able to navigate it?
I did it very well. I was able to, even though I could not speak Yoruba, I began to speak the very funny Yoruba I could speak. And then they realized that, oh, this guy cannot speak Yoruba. This guy knows Yoruba. But I was able to make fun of, bring life to it and then add a lot of fun to it. Like, there's this greeting I always greet when I go to Yoruba weddings. I say, oh, I'm coming from, when I had this wedding, I had to ask my landlord that when I get there, how do I greet? And he said to me that, okay, go where the elders are and tell them monkey bogbonyo. So it was a good starter for me. It was a good starter, and I continued, like, navigated and had so much fun. And it was a great event that they even had to reach out to Jidora. That guy was exceptional. Even though he didn't understand Yoruba, he couldn't speak, but he was exceptional.
Impact and impression. We had a conversation before we got here.
Okay.
We're on air. Impact. Now, people are focusing less on impact and focusing on impression. So what that means is that virality, views, volume, and nobody is looking at the message. Why do you think that is, common right now when it comes to social media and all that?
First of all, I think we have to consider the society that we find ourselves. We find ourselves in a very unique society where we over... I'm trying to look for the word. I think we are... Sorry to say, but the average Nigerian is a lover of money. At any cost. Trust me, he doesn't care. The average Nigerian. There's a guy that is doing a prank right now where he goes to shops and then he will just drop money and then pick it up and say, so I just saw this money here, who has it? Now, the guy, before he drops it, he would always make a video saying that if the person tells him that, oh, this money doesn't belong to me, he will give the person the money. This guy has been doing that content for as much as I know, and that guy has never been able to find the Nigerian who said the money is not his own. In fact, some of them try to beat him up. That is my money. You see matured women lying. So we live in a society where our love for money is crazy. I don't know how we got here as a people, but it is crazy, trust me. Baba, they try to make impact. If you not get impression, you not get the numbers, they're not going to answer you. The country that we live in, it's a very funny place. You can check with the quality of celebrities that we have now, that we celebrate, we give awards to. You go wonder, say, what's this guy really doing? But because the guy has the numbers, bro, they go for the guy. Big brands go sign the guy. I always tell people that when you hear things like, oh, you need to be this certain way for this kind of brand, to attract this kind of brand, Baba, it's because you don't have numbers. If you have numbers, be anyhow, you will attract some of the biggest brands you can think of. They're not send. Once they see the impression and the numbers, Baba, they go sign you. We've seen it happen now. We've seen comedians that do skits that make mockery of women, talking about women's backside. Baba, they have the numbers. The biggest brands sign them. The same women accept them, come to their shows and see them as their celebrities, as their gods. This is somebody who makes contents talking down on women that don't have big backsides and all of that. But that's the society we live in. You have the numbers, you have the flashy car, you look flashy, you can spend the money. Baba, you're a celebrity. That's the times that we live in.
As a content creator, comedian, MC, is there a line you won't cross? Is there a joke you won't
Definitely. You won't find me doing vulgar. You won't find me. Even if I try to, it will not. I've been trained that way. I was telling somebody that when we're growing up, some of the training our parents gave us, we didn't know that, but the thing affected our entire life. There are things I cannot say. It's not because I'm trying to be holier than thou, but if it come, it's not me. This is not who I am. If it come. Even at the expense of trying to make money, trying to go viral, just fit come. I know fit. I have a skit partner that we make skits together. Mayor Sam, shout out to him. there are stories that we have that we never shot because waiting we stand for
It's against your values.
is against our values. We know fit. I'm talking about very funny contents that we go viral. In fact, there was one about a church. I won't give you the story, but it was about a church. And you know how these days in Nigeria, if you want to trend, church is like a landing ground. Once you land on religious matter on church, you will blow. If I tell you the story, it's a viral story, and it's a story on giving. You know what surrounds giving in Nigeria, how there's a lot surrounding it in Nigeria. Now making a skit around it that tries to support the people that don't believe you should give. You go viral, trust me. The biggest blogs will carry you. It's that kind of content, but we didn't do it. We let it go.
Why, before going to short break, why do you think there's a lot of attack on the church right now? Now you mentioned giving.
Yes.
These same people will attend shows,
Buy tickets,
attend clubs,
go to clubs, spend all the money, and then when it comes to church,
now those pastors will chop our money. Now those, what's your thought about that?
Well, the truth is that I will always say that nobody has been forced to give in church. It's a free will. If you don't want to give, go rest. But the fact that you now go about trying to tell other people not to give, you now be like, say, they turn yourself to demon. Like man like Pharaoh will say, that's a demon right here. That's a demon right there. Nobody has forced them. Nobody has come to church and they pull gun for your head. Say, bro, you must give.
True.
It's free will. So if you don't want to give, nobody they force you now. Go ahead.
We're going to a short break. When we come out from the break, the conversation continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
What does success mean to you? To a singer, success is about selling out a concert and having hit songs. To a filmmaker, success is about fans raving about his or her blockbuster movie. To an entrepreneur, success is about converting prospects into lifelong customers. For us at Visibility Solutions Media, our success is when we help you successfully tell your story and win in the marketplace. We produce videos that matter, media campaigns that sell, content that puts your brand in the spotlight. In short, we are the one your brand needs today and forever. Visit us at vsmpr.com or call 0805 468 0266.
Welcome back from the break. This is the Conversations with Kenny, and I have with me the phenomenal Chimaraph. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Let's talk about content creation.
Yes.
Right now. Everything right now is about content.
Yes, content.
Do you think there will ever be a time when it will fizzle out and we just go back to our boring lives?
No, that will be when the world ends. There's no such time coming, trust me. Content has come to stay, But now it's going to keep evolving. But content, everybody in Nigeria has a content creator right now. If you don't have a content creator, that's one of the ways to know that your life is not, you don't have so much to give yet. You must have a content creator. Everybody has, from bank MDs to religious leaders to just name it. They have content creators that follow them around.
How important
it's a full-time
right
job
now? Because right now, people who are traditional believe that, it's beginning to distract people from the main thing and stuff like that.
Well, you know that the truth is that everything that has an advantage also has a disadvantage. So there's always the disadvantage to everything. But I think for someone who is in a business where you have to be in the face of people, you need it. You have to be able to. Of course, apart from just being in the face of people make money from their contents. All right, content is the new oil, as we all know. So it has come to stay. It won't stop anytime soon.
I saw a movie. Was it a movie? Yeah, I saw a movie years back, featuring you, Bimbo Ademoye, and the particular guy. How did you get into acting?
Well, the truth is that way back from secondary school, I've been an actor. Yeah, I can still remember how I won an award in Rivers State. There's a competition in Rivers State called Akonaki. Anybody that went to school in Rivers State way back 2005, 2006 will remember Akonaki. Akonaki used to be like the biggest cultural competition for stage drama, music, and I won yes, a Konaki competition in Port Harcourt. It holds in River State Tourist Center, Port Harcourt Tourist Center, you know, and I won the best actor in one of the competitions. So it's always been something that I do naturally. So it was normal for me to, when I started stand-up comedy, any opportunity I saw to act, I just took advantage of it. And somehow it just happened that in the journey of stand-up comedy, I met a couple of people that were already in the movie industry, like my friend Stanley Obi. Our path crossed, and he at that time was already trying to start. He was building his career as a filmmaker. All right, so our path crossed, and so he became my personal director, started making my skits, and then from there he graduated to being a director. He was the one that directed Odogu. The one that went viral, the real Odogu story that went viral, the very first part.
Okay.
Yes.
Can every comedian be an actor? Do you think every comedian can be an actor?
Well, no, I don't think every comedian can be an actor. Acting is something that you have to learn to do. For some people, it's inborn, and then you can now hone your gift. So it's something that you have to learn properly. So every comedian cannot be an actor. Even though that there are some atom of acting in stand-up comedy, all right, but it doesn't mean that automatically means you'll be a great actor.
Because Funny Bone, Funny Bone did a bit of theater.
Yes, he did theater. Unijust, yeah.
Senator,
yeah, Unijust, yeah.
So those ones,
you can see it in their acting. It shows very well that they've been trained for it properly.
You're a Christian, and what do you think about what's the limit for you? Okay, I think I already asked you that question about, what the limits for
the lines I can't cross.
The lines you can't cross. But let's sweep. What's the English word now? Let's flip it a bit. What can you do a gig for? What kind of gig can you do a gig in a strip club?
No, I won't. I won't do a gig in a strip club. In fact, it's so funny that at the beginning stage of my career, I refused to ever host a comedy club in a lounge. All right. Even though today I see it differently. All right. I see it differently. I can host a comedy club today.
But you won't just take
I won't just. I know what I will not say, but I can host a comedy club. In fact, I currently host a comedy club with somebody in Olodi Apapa currently. Okay. All right. That we're trying to build, but we're trying to scale it up and then move to somewhere better. Yes. But it's something I'm looking at starting out very well.
How about doing gig for, have you ever...
Don't even say alcoholic brand, because I will do it.
I know. You need alcoholic brand?
Of course I will do gigs for an alcoholic brand now. Why wouldn't I do a gig for an alcoholic brand? It does not mean I'm supporting alcohol. I was simply hired to offer a service for them, and then I offer it. So I'll give you an example. As a Christian, it's like asking that, can you work in Nigerian breweries?
Can you work in
Nigerian breweries? There are a lot of Christians that work in Nigerian breweries now.
Some Christians will tell you working with Nigerian breweries is endorsing
is their personal conviction. Like, I've heard one top MC say that he pulled out of a gig because there was an alcoholic brand sponsoring that years.
What do you think about that instead?
Well, I like the way he put it. I think it's his personal. He said that it's his personal
value.
Yes, personal value. Yep. He never went out to say another person that is a Christian that it's bad. No, he never went out to say that. So, of course, people have their reasons why they will say, this is my own. I won't do this.
Yinka Lashiyori recently was bashed for for doing a video about the fact that government, they are trying to bring the girls back. Said the girls kidnapped school children
in Oyo State.
Do you think Nigerians, of course you did an apology and stuff like that, do you think that Nigerians are overly emotional when it comes to issues without even hearing other people's part? Because Yinka said that part, the video was cut out. It wasn't the full.
It was a live video.
And Nigerians just started bashing her that
okay, before I even give a take on it, I think first of all we have to address that our blogs in Nigeria need to do better. They are the ones that fuel a lot of the backlash that people get on social media. They will take something and then twist it just to get the views and the numbers. Our blogs need to do better, sincerely. So coming back to that, I think it was a very sensitive issue, at that time. It was very sensitive, seeing that we're here living good and then there are children in the bush that we're expecting the government to go and bring back, It was a very sensitive issue. And like you said, Nigerians are very emotional people. For me, I don't think she did anything wrong by saying what she said.
So
even
the
though
government is doing
that
something.
they are doing something about it, that people shouldn't look at it like they are not trying at all. All right,
Nigerians
just I think blogs are the foundations of these things. They know how to take it. They know how to give the tagline that will trigger people. And Nigerians are very emotional. And Nigerians, sorry to say, most Nigerians are follow. Once they check on a blog and they see that 100 people are bashing you, they will join and bash for no reason. For no reason. If you call out the person that, what do you think is wrong about what this person? They don't have anything to tell you. They just saw that everybody is bashing this person. And then there's also somewhere, I think recently I saw Okoyemi post a video. Okay, it was Tunde that posted a video where Okoyemi was saying that Nigerians right now have WhatsApp groups where they plan to report successful entrepreneurs' accounts.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And he said something that the average Nigerian is not a kind person. And as much as it sounds like, we're trying to paint Nigerians bad, guess what? That's the truth. The average Nigerian is not a very kind person. If you live in Nigeria and deal with Nigerians, you'll be amazed. Have you realized that give a Nigerian a small position, he wants to take advantage of other Nigerians? I can give you a perfect example. Security men at estate gates. Baba, security men, I was in Landmark for an event and then I ordered a ride to come pick me inside Landmark. Now, Landmark is a public place. It's not an estate. Yes. There's a cinema in Landmark. There are lounges in Landmark. There are children place in Landmark. The business is a business hub. Do you know that my ride was coming in and the security guy stopped the ride and started questioning him, where are you going to? Where? For goodness sake, he has no business question. What he has to do is to give the guy a tag that the guy will remit when he's going out to show that this car went in and is the right person coming out with it. That's the only thing he has, or to check the boot or search that's the only thing. But this guy wanted to stop him from coming in. I had to intervene that, what is wrong with you? This is a public place. His colleagues now started apologizing to me that man no verse, man no verse. And that no verse, that's how we got here as a people. Somebody will do something wrong. Instead of this person to face the wrath of the law, we'll start begging for the person that, please now, I beg. That's how we go here as a people. So the average Nigerian is not a very kind person, trust me. Of course, there are kind people in Nigeria, but the average Nigerian. Trust me.
True. Let's talk about, before we run out of the show, tattoo. Is it right for a Christian to tattoo? Is it right for because you're a Christian?
Yes.
That's I'm just sampling your opinion about this thing. Is it right for a Christian to wear dreadlocks? Is it right for a Christian to do tattoo? Is it right for a Christian to, to wear a guy? Because there was a church I attended in Lagos that they literally told me to put off my face cap.
To put off your face cap.
They believe, one of my friends would say, I don't want to cause trouble. I don't want to mention the denomination. That a particular denomination in Nigeria, I won't mention, a particular denomination in Nigeria can accept you not wearing earring. But if you get to that denomination outside Nigeria,
they wear earrings.
They would allow you earrings there. Is it that? But let me get your opinion.
Like my pastor would say that in Nigeria we practice
African traditional religion.
African traditional religion that we're not yet practicing pure Christianity. All right, we try to put in our personal opinion, African opinion, and all of that into it. There's nothing wrong in having a tattoo. It's personal preference. For example, I will never draw a tattoo. Anybody that knows me will be surprised if I draw a tattoo. Do you understand? They will be surprised. Anybody that knows me will be surprised if I have a full-grown dreadlock. It's not because there's anything wrong with it. It's personal preference. Everybody have personalities that they want to portray. So it's personal preference. There's nothing wrong with it completely.
So how about people bashing, pastors like the likes of Pastor Kingsley or Jimmy Odukoya, or Jimmy doing dreadlocks, wearing earrings, rings?
I told you earlier now, if you want to trend in Nigeria, just bash pastors. It's one of the easiest ways to trend in Nigeria because they will not beat you now. They won't do anything to you. The Christian religion is a very amazing religion. They won't We will preach love and we show it, so they won't do anything to you. So that's why people like to ride on it. And we live in a time when the church is facing so much attack, so it's once you just say anything about pastors, you will trend. Trust me, you will. I dare you now to just say one controversial thing and cut it out. You will trend. Drugs have never posted you.
Yeah.
They will post you. They will just post you. The people will start hailing you. They will post you. So it's not. I'm not surprised.
So the final words to that young person who wants to take that major step, who wants to get into the industry. Maybe person has a 9 to 5, or the person doesn't even have a 9 to 5. The person has a business, but the person has a call to the entertainment industry.
Okay, what I would say to that person, Baba, pursue your dream. I always like to say that as I got old, I learned to, if people come to seek advice from me, I learned to tell them, say, Baba, go ahead and do it. So that tomorrow, use me to make speech. That there was one guy that I went to meet. He told me I cannot.
I cannot do it.
But here I am today doing it. Baba, go ahead and do it. All right, just have a mentor, learn all the rudiments, do your homework, and then be patient to see it come true. Don't be in a hurry. For me, I think that's the part that is very important. Don't be in a hurry to blow. All right. All the people that you see today, they are celebrities that you love. Go and check. I know that when people become celebrities, they get to delete all their past videos. So that it looks like they're not coming from anywhere. But Baba, go and check. Even the Pella, just name it. Don Jazzy, everybody, go and check. Baba, they've been on this thing for long and finally paid off. So there's no magic about it. There's no overnight success. You have to put in the work. You have to do what you need to do. So put in the work, do what you have to do. Have a mentor, pursue your dream. That's all I have to say to you.
Pursue your dream, pursue your dream. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for
Chimaraph,
having me.
Thank you for those powerful nuggets, and we wish you the best in your endeavors. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
This show, this is Conversation with Kenny. Join us on this channel for another explosive edition, and don't forget to subscribe. God bless you. Thanks for watching.